was working with a couple, and he was accused of being nitpicking because he would want the hob turned off, or he would want the hot water tap turned off. And what he worked out, and I was just so impressed with him being able to kind of formulate it with this level of clarity. What he said was, because of the way my mum berated me as a child and treated me, I lost my assumption that I was good. And carrying a sense of my disconnection from being good as a child has left me trying to reclaim that goodness.
The feeling of toxic shame is one that is all-consuming. It's more than just a sense of wrongness. It is a sense of, it's an identity issue to the point where you are wrong. For decades now, we've had discussions about low self-esteem. Well, low self-esteem is really a bit of a euphemism for shame.
Yeah.
Most of us, if we have been toxically shamed, if we have been deeply shamed, most of us don't know we're in it. It's a bit like a fish swimming in water. It doesn't know the medium that it's in.
Yeah. And then you're in the dance of superior, inferior, superior, inferior. And I want to be, as soon as I'm in the inferior, shamed place, I need to put myself in the superior, one-up place. Shame is a hot potato. Nobody wants to hold on to it, so we chuck it to someone else.
We give it to the next person. We give it to, we shame them. So we can actually behave in such a way that we are perpetuating within a circle, within a family, wherever that might be, we are keeping it going. We're keeping that dark flame alive.
There's something about the fear of being seen, the desire to be seen, but the fear of being seen and the shame of being seen, that makes it very muddy.
I've often thought of this actually as the artist's dilemma. Many artists are desperate to be heard. They really want to be heard and to be understood. And at the same time, they are really keen not to be seen or to be seen into.
With shame, bringing it into the light and avoid and sort of removing the secrecy around it is a way of beginning to heal it. And we know that a lot of shame is pre-verbal, that it's a very early response, and that toxic shaming can often be pre-verbal. And the earlier the shaming is, the more insidious I think it is. So with later shaming, we may be able to shake it off and get on with life in a more effective way. Let's say you had really loving, good parents who really did do their best, but your mum died when you were 14 or something. You've had a good start, and the later shaming of having lost a parent for which we might hold ourselves responsible in some way, that's really devastating. But it may be that you've had a good start and you've got a better core, a better foundation. And that early intense shaming in life can lead people to be narcissistic, you know, to be grandiose, to be contemptuous of others, to be selfish. And that shame is so unbearably painful that they construct a false self. And that's really the essence of the narcissism. I'm not going to be shame-ridden, damaged person. I'm going to be the winner. And the more shame they feel, the more they defend against it. And they don't consciously know that they're dealing with shame, but they're defiantly defending against it. And they don't realize that there's anything wrong with them. They blame others. They don't seek help unless their lives are completely falling apart. And they'll battle to the death to defend their sense of self whenever it's challenged, because that sense of a threat to their self-esteem is just more than they can bear.
This is not a poem that talks to itself, that curls like a cat round the feet of academics. It cherishes the raw, the inarticulate, and speaks to the heart sore of what they pine for. A friend in the dark, a sense of belonging, the ability to look a mirror in the eye. This is not a poem that seeks the attention of those who measure themselves in print. It speaks to the unseen, unloved, and unpitied. You, on your ledge or in your lonely room, broken down by the cruelties of shaming. You, my friend, with your downcast eyes. This is not a poem that wins competitions, that shapes wily words to a judge's delight. It pats the floor, says, sit here with me. It's okay, relax, let your head go down. No need to speak, just stay with the feelings that come from a life out there where it hurts. This is a poem that opens a door, that sits in a circle and unpeels its failures, that fesses up, says it knows that being alone or bound in armor is cool but not forever, that it's finally time to stop pretending, to let go, to let be, to let grief do its work. This is not a poem for you to take lightly. It's a call, a remembrance, a muttered prayer, a salve for a wound, a point of honor, a stretcher on a battlefield, a proffered hand. This is a poem that dreams of forgiveness, a poem that turns with you, turns for home.